In this video, we'll look at setting up a CDE in line with ISO 19650 naming logic. Learning content, setting up ISO 19650 naming logic in accordance with BIM execution plan, applying naming standard to project folders, and approving non-conforming files. To set up the naming logic to the project, we first of all need to go to the settings menu here on the right hand side, selecting naming standard. Once in the settings, if we again come across the right hand side, you'll see we have a button with 3 dots. Selecting the download template will allow us to configure our naming convention within the project. It's important you read through the instructions thoroughly on the instructions tab here in the template. If you require any further assistance, you can simply go to the help file by clicking on the link here. So let's start off with a project originator. Please note we'll need to reference the BIM execution plan to get all the values that we need. As you will see here in the template file, we have some example values. I'm going to overwrite these. I'm going to change this one to the actual originator code. For the architect, it's ARC, and put in the description architect. I'm going to do this for the rest of the values. Once completed, we can move on to the next tab. The next tab is volume and system. And once you'll see here, we have some values already completed. We need these two, so I'm going to leave them. And I'm going to type in the next 2 values. Once again, using the BIM execution plan to populate the fields. And once again, I'm going to then moving on to the level and location. Again here, you can see there's some values that have been completed. We need to check these against the BIM execution plan. As you will see, the naming here is very similar, but we need to make some slight changes. I'm going to remove the mezzanine levels and also the basement levels, but I need to place in, for example, the foundation level and for the roof also. So I can order these in here. I'm just going to simply select these 3 here, copy them and paste them below, and then go back in and add the value in for the foundation and the roof. Moving on to the next tab, which is type. As you will see, there's some values already added in here for us. As you will see, there's only a few values which we require from our BIM execution plan. But as this is a project and things may change, I'm going to leave the standard list as it is. Then I don't have to come back at any point in the near future and change any values. Next, I'm going to move on to the roles. Once again, you'll see here there's some values already selected. Again, if we move across the project BIM execution plan, you'll see it's highlighting some roles. Once again, I'm going to leave this as it is, based around we may need to add some further values in at a later stage. I'm going to leave the next tab, which is a number, and go straight to the status codes. As you will see, this has all the status codes listed. Once again, using the BIM execution plan, check the status codes listed in there to change the values appropriately. And finally, as you'll see, we have one for revisions and classifications. I'm going to leave those. But the last thing I'm going to do before I finish and save the file is just go back to the beginning, and under settings you'll see here we have the ability to change the delimiter. We can change it from a hyphen, underscore or a point. I'm going to leave it as the hyphen. Now hit save and you'll be ready to upload the file. We are now going to switch back into Docs, and once again from the 3 little dots click import and you'll see we can now upload the file. I'm just going to simply drag and drop the file in, click import, and you'll see here it's taken the naming convention and the related attributes. It will go through the process and now assign it to the system. If we click on custom, we can go in and you'll see it will give us all the specific headings. We can go onto the edit and we can change the appropriate names. We can't change the type. We can add a description. Under here you'll see it's got the character settings which we can customize at this present time. If we go across here, you'll see under originator it's actually listed the ones we put in the template. The same with the volume, the same with the location, and the same with the type. We could always, if we needed to, add further fields, and you'll see here it allows us to select attributes if we've already got a custom attribute created, which in this case we haven't. We have the related attributes down the bottom of the screen for status, revision and classification. If I just come up to the top, you'll see here the delimiter, which is set to hyphen. Now I'm going to click save and apply, and now this has been applied to our project. You'll see here at the bottom of the screen we're going to enable the holding area, which means if a file is uploaded it will go into an area if it's not complying with the naming convention above. I'm now going to select the folders of which I wish to apply this. If I select folders here, it gives me a list of all the folders within the project. I'm going to select my published area, my shared and my work in progress. I'm leaving the resources area unticked, so the files that are uploaded to that area don't have to comply with the naming convention. As soon as I hit save, it will apply it to the project, as you can see with the notification at the top of the screen. I'm switching over to the files area, where in here you'll now see next to the name of the folders we have a little tick. If I expand the work in progress area, you'll see both the structure and the architecture folder have it applied as well. This will apply it to the subfolders when you apply it to the main folder itself. Now once we upload a file to an area where the naming convention is applied, you'll see as I drag this file in, it's asking me to complete the upload process. File naming has been taken here. For example, if I drop down, can you see it's picked up the arc? Same applies to here, where it's picked up the A2. I'm going to apply a status and give it a revision. I'll leave the classification for now, click upload, and the file will then upload. If we click done, you'll see now the file has been applied here, and if we scroll across, you'll see the attributes have been completed